Let it grow and enhance your grow with Matt Kush. Feel the power from the leaves and the lush. Every harvest brings a different kind of rush. Let it grow and enhance your grow with Matt Kush.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Glad having you here today for another episode of the podcast Facts to Go. This time featuring the story of Northern Lights. If White Widow represents the 90s Amsterdam era, the Northern Lights symbolizes the 80s golden age of indoor cultivation. It's a name that carries weight, respect and history. For decades, Northern Lights has been celebrated as one of the most stable, resilient and influential genetics in the cannabis industry. In this episode, we'll explore its mysterious origins, why it became a cornerstone of breeding, what makes it special to grow, and how it shaped modern plant culture. The true origin of Northern Lights is somewhat mysterious. Most accounts trace it back to the Pacific Northwest of the United States, particularly Seattle, Washington, in the late 70s to early 80s. It was reportedly developed by a grower known simply as the Indian, or sometimes Afghani Joe. From there, the genetic traveled to the Netherlands, where breeders like Neville Schoenmakers of the seed bank refined and spread it worldwide. The exact genetic makeup, believed to be a cross of pure Afghani Indica landraces with perhaps a touch of Thai sativa. That balance gave it stability, raising production and adaptability. But why the name Northern Lights? What was the reason to come up with such a name? Northern Lights, a name that evokes beauty, misery and natural spectacle. Just like the Aurora Borealis, this strain became a natural wonder in the plant world. The name carried global appeal, romantic, memorable and perfectly suited for an international audience. The rise in fame started in 80s to early 90s. By the mid-80s, Northern Lights was already winning competitions. When Neville took it to Amsterdam, it became a sensation in Dutch coffee shops and global cannabis cups. It became one of the first true indoor legends. While many older strains struggled under artificial lights, Northern Lights mastered it. That alone made it to be outstanding. Characteristic and appearance of it also showed that it's a strain which works well in indoor conditions. The structure? Short, stocky, indica-dominant plant, ideal for indoor setups. The buds are dense, frosty, often with deep green hues and orange pistils. The aroma can be described as earthy, piney, with sweet and sometimes spicy undertones. The flowering time is around 8 to 9 weeks, so it's fast and reliable. Why grow Northern Lights? Northern Lights became a favorite of growers worldwide because it is compact, which means perfect for limited indoor spaces. It's resilient, that means it's resistant to pest, mold and stress. It's fast, quick flowering cycle compared to many other hybrids. And further, it's a good yielder. Outdoors it also performs well in sunny, dry climates, but its real fame comes from indoor cultivation where it set the standard. Some growing tips for Northern Lights. It doesn't take a lot of maintenance, great for beginners, doesn't demand excessive care. It responds well on training techniques like Sea of Green. Don't overfeed it, the plant doesn't like that too much. And when you do everything correct, you can expect some dense trichome-loaded buds which are extremely frosty. Drying and curing it is another process you have to take care of. If you don't make mistakes here and you follow a 15 degrees Celsius and a 55% relative humidity during the dry, and later you cure it in a jar for almost or at least 4 to 6 weeks, you can expect a very rich and very complex flavor. Northern Lights is more than just a plant, it's a cultural cornerstone. In the 80s and 90s, competitions was dominated by Northern Lights. In most of the cannabis cups, this strain was award-winning. It became a parent strain for countless classics, including Super Silver Haze, Shiva Skunk, and many NL hybrids. In music and pop culture, Northern Lights is frequently referred as sign of its legendary reputation. It also helped define the Amsterdam seed bank area when breeders like Neville, Sensi Seed and others brought global recognition to specific genetics. Why it's still important? Well, decades later, Northern Lights is still available in seed catalogs, coffee shops and dispensaries. While many flashy new hybrids come up and go, Northern Lights has the timeless appeal. Growers love its reliability, breeders value its genetics, consumers recognize the name. It's a true foundation strain. Without Northern Lights, the landscape of modern breeding would look completely different. The stability of Northern Lights had proven consistent genetics, which is key to a strain which can last decades. The simplicity, it's easy to grow, easy to recognize, and the history, a piece of cannabis lore from Seattle to Amsterdam. It represents an era, the early indoor revolution, and continues to shine like its namesake Aurora. Northern Lights is not just a strain, it's a legend of plant history. It tells the story of early pioneers, global breeding, and the rise of indoor cultivation. It is simply put one of the pillars of which modern cannabis genetics stands. One of the most fascinating aspects of Northern Lights is how it quickly became a backbone of modern cannabis breeding. When breeders in the 90s searched for traits like fast flowering, dense and bud structure, and heavy resin production at the same time, Northern Lights was the go-for genetic donor. Its stability meant that when crossed with sativas like Haze or Thai, the offspring inherit faster flowering without losing potency. This is why strains such as Super Silver Haze, Jack Herer and countless Kush hybrids carry a trace of its DNA. Some breeders even call it the silent parent, because you may not see the name on a modern strain, but its influence is everywhere. Phenotypes and variations of it are all around. Over the decades, different phenotypes of Northern Lights emerged. Growers often talk about Northern Lights phenotype 1 through Northern Lights phenotype 5. Each number represents a slightly different selection. Some taller and more sativa leaning, others shorter and pure indica. Among them, Northern Lights phenotype 5 became the most famous, prized for its thick resin layers and sweet earthy aroma. Even today, seed banks often list NL5 as a separate classic. Beyond its historical value, Northern Lights offers a fascinating chemical profile. Typical lab results shows THC levels in the 16 to 21% range, making it potent but not overwhelming compared with nowadays ultra hybrids. Myrcene provides the sedative, relaxing effect. Pinene contributes a subtle pine forest aroma and can help with mental clarity. Caryophyllene adds a peppery undertone and may interact with the body's CB2 receptors, potentially supporting anti-inflammatory effects. To fully appreciate Northern Lights, we have to remember the technology of its era. In the early 90s, indoor growing was still a risky experimental art. High-pressure sodium lamps were expensive and unreliable. Ventilation systems were crude, and hydroponics was in its infancy. Most outdoor strains struggled to adapt to artificial light cycles. Northern Lights changed that. Its natural resistance to stress and compact growth meant growers could finally achieve consistent yield in a small room or basement. It essentially proved that indoor cannabis could compete with and even surpass outdoor crops in quality. Once the genetics reached the Netherlands, the story accelerated. Neville Schoenmakers, founder of the seed bank, began sharing seeds with European breeders. Sensi Seeds later acquired and preserved the line, ensuring its survival through decades of legal changes. From Amsterdam, the seeds traveled around Europe and found their way back to the US into the legal cannabis market in America. This circular journey means that the Northern Lights you buy today in a Colorado dispensary may be a descendant of plants that once left Seattle, crossed the Atlantic, and returned decades later. Even with today's high-tech grow rooms, Northern Lights still shines. Its predictable 7 to 9 weeks flowering time still beats many modern hybrids. Because it stays short and bushy, it's perfect for discreet home grows and small-scale medical gardens. It's celebrated not only for enjoyment but also for medical potential. Patients often report relief from insomnia, chronic pain, and stress. The heavy indica influence promotes deep body relaxation and calm, making it ideal for evening use. The balanced terpene profile may contribute to anti-anxiety without excessive sedation, especially when harvested at peak trichome maturity. The name Northern Lights pops up repeatedly in pop culture. It has been referred in reggae lyrics, hip-hop tracks, and even television shows exploring cannabis history. In a world of rapidly changing genetics and designer hybrids, preserving Northern Lights is more important than ever. Seed banks and breeders continue to maintain original lines to prevent genetic drift. Some even keep mother plants alive for decades, carefully cloning them to retain the exact chemistry of the classic phenotype. For cannabis historians, Northern Lights isn't just a strain, it's living genetic heritage. When you hold a jar of Northern Lights today, you are not just smelling a plant, you are holding a piece of history. From the secret gardens of Seattle to the coffee shops of Amsterdam, it connects generations of growers, breeders, and consumers. Its continued popularity proves that in an age of flashy terpene-packed hybrids, sometimes the old legends remain unbeatable. A true classic which deserves the spotlight. All of these facts made my decision to grow the strain in one of my next runs. I got the seeds already, now I just need to find the right time to pop it. When I will do that, I will definitely let you know. You will be part of it if you want, and then we start a new strain growing journey with the Northern Lights. Like you know me guys, for me it's more about the quality of the terps than rather having an incredible big yield. I don't care so much about that. Terp profiles and aroma is key. If I'm able to preserve that terps and gain the maximum amount of aroma out of the plant by doing a perfect grow and for sure perfect dry and curing, that's what I'm aiming for. If we are comparing our hobby of growing the plant compared to winemakers who grow grapes, well, it's pretty much the same thing. They are cultivating grapes to create alcohol by fermentation. Also, biochemical processes ongoing also when they age the wine. Before it is grape juice, then it becomes something like a low alcohol content fermentized juice. And after the fermentization is ready, it is wine, and it will be aged in a barrel or in a bottle, depending how the breeder or the cultivator is considering to make the curing of the wine. Which makes it to be literally the same thing than our cultivation of plants. Please let me know in the comments how you think about that. What is the most important thing for you when you are growing? Is it a maximum yield? Is it the perfect terp? Is it a combination of both? Or you are triggered by something completely different? Please let me know, I'm curious to know that. If you are still here and listening, you are a real enthusiast about the plant itself and about the cultivation of it. You want to know more about the backgrounds, you want to dive and dig deeper than ever to know everything about. It makes me really happy to know that there are so many fellows and community lovers out there who really appreciate the plant. We are close to the end of this episode. I hope you like what you have heard. If so, Please leave a like and hit the subscribe button, it will help me. I hope to see you soon again for another episode of the Strain Growing Journey. Grow of a Bro, podcast, Facts to Go, or any other adventure you want to follow me.